Good evening, Fernwood. It is your in-between meal snacking friend Neil here, and it's time for us to take a bite out of another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching October 29th, 1976's episode. That's episode 150 of the series. Let's recap. Yesterday, Nurse Gimble introduced her husband Garth to Mr. Ackerman. Nurse Gimble and Garth appear to have a very affectionate relationship, and Garth has ideas about how to use Mary Hartman's fame to increase the publicity for the ward. Chester explained exactly what was inside of his lunchbox, that being a nuclear payload. Loretta comes to visit Mary and mentions that Tom has been seeing another woman, Annie Weiler, and also asks for some help for the sexual troubles that she and Charlie have been having. And then finally, at the Haggers' residence, Charlie tries out Loretta's suggestion of hypnosis. Loretta stops in to give a hand, and it becomes clear that Charlie has given up on his sexuality. That's our recap, everybody. This is a Friday episode, so who knows what kind of bang they will leave us with today. Let's just watch it.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Secretary, 50 words per minute. Mature and intelligent. Well, that's a no. Restaurant hostess, nights only, and ask for handsome Eddie. That's definitely a no. Seamstress for pedal pusher factory. That sounds interesting.
Oh, Kathy, it is going to be the most wonderful day. Look at all this mail we got. And I got a package, look, from Grandpa 12 Trees. Look at that address. He's out in Georgia. I wonder what he's doing out there. Oh, I feel like it's my birthday. Oh, look at that darling little thing, Kathy. Isn't that adorable? Oh, you sweet little thing. I want you to say hello to your new mommy. Oh, it bit me. It bit my nose, I swear.
Oh, Mother, look, it's exotic plants. It devours insects and raw meats. It's a Venus flytrap.
Oh, as if we don't have enough hungry mouths to feed now that George is gone. What are you reading, the TV guide?
No, the want ads. I have to find a job today. Dental front girl, experience and wisdom teeth. Ugh.
Oh, Kathy, they have found your daddy. Oh, now I won't have to wear black, and I won't have to bother looking for a new husband.
Who found him?
Jack and Jill. We have established contact with your husband in the regions 2,000 miles from the planet Uranus. We arrive in Fernwood today with reservations at the Bidawee Motel.
Mother, you don't really believe that, do you?
Why not? I haven't anything else to believe in that will bring your daddy back.
Mother, it's a racket.
I have to believe, Kathy. I have to believe in anything that will help me see George again.
Oh, you really loved him, didn't you?
Oh, Kathy, you can't wash a man's jockey shorts for 36 years and not be in love with them.
Yeah, I know, Mom.
Who died now?
Oh, Pa, nobody died. We're just missing George.
Women. They don't know when they've lost a good thing. Do we have any tuna fish? I'm switching from peanut butter. I need a little variety in life.
Listen, how does this sound? Dance hostess, earn up to $250 a week plus tips in Fernwood's most elegant ballroom.
Sounds like a front for a whorehouse to me. What are you looking for a job for? Pregnant women shouldn't work.
That's even more the reason why I should work. Unless, of course, I take up Dr. Furman's offer.
A job? Did Dr. Furman offer you a job in his hospital?
Well, not exactly. It's more of a deal than a job.
Another deal. There are more deals going on in Fernwood than on Wall Street.
Well, what kind of deal?
Well, he wants me to sell my baby to this wealthy couple who can't have any. And, of course, get commission for it.
No, I will not have it. That is white slave slavery, and your little baby is not even of age.
And I get $20,000 for the delivery.
I don't believe it, and even if it is true, I will not have it.
Well, Mother, what else am I going to do? I cannot type, I cannot sew, I cannot dance.
Oh, Steve Foley will be showing up pretty soon, and one of them is bound to marry you.
Maybe we could get a shotgun before they pass gun control.
And then they will take care of you and give your little baby a name, and you'll live happily ever after, just like Mary.
Mother, those days are over. Things are not always going to be okay.
Yes, well, they'll work out, you'll see. Oh, yes, they will. If you choose to believe they will, they will. Now, I know that George is coming back, so therefore he will. Now, I have to go and call Jack and Jill to see when George's UFO is going to come in.
Well, it can't be the friendly skies. Not if it's George.
Oh, Grandpa, I'm so unsure of what I'm going to do.
I've been unsure for 84 years, and I'm still trucking.
Well, I've been thinking about getting an abortion. At least that'll be the easy way out.
Kathy, the most important word in the human language isn't easy. It's life. Not that I'm baby happy, no matter what the cost. Well, call it old-fashioned. God knows I'm old. But I just don't like the idea that a granddaughter of mine can throw away a life as easily as a pair of biodegradable undies.
Mary Hartman, My Own Story by Gore Vidal. That clipboard is great like that, just a little to your left. That's it. But why, Mr. Vidal?
Because you seem to be a symbol of this culture, because the newspapers are saying that your breakdown represents the American breakdown, and because, well, what better therapy can there be than to write a book that will be as misunderstood by its readers as most patients are by their psychiatrists?
Hi, Mary. Who's this Bull Brummel here?
That's my co-author, Gore Vidal.
Oh, sure you are. And I'm Myra Brackenridge.
I am sorry. I never saw the film.
You snappy mother, you!
Mrs. Defarge, the pose! You're in the pose!
Oh, well. I'm sorry, Sly Boots.
Mrs. Defarge is very harmless. She's just short, but very harmless.
I'll light up a Salem and leave.
Mrs. Defarge, now don't light me. I'm really tired of being burned. She likes to set me on fire. That's her fun. Will you please go and sit down now and finish your needlepoint of your MasterCharge card emblem?
Well. And how are my two favorite people in the whole world? Would you like a cigarette, Mr. Vidal?
I don't smoke.
Oh, that's right. Well, perhaps some food.
I don't eat at this hour. You're hospital administrating again, Mr. Ackerman?
Am I? Thank you. Tell me, has our little Mary been cooperating?
Completely.
Yeah.
Okay, complete left profile immediately. Good.
No, I was expecting someone disoriented, but instead I found a survivor. Now the problem is this society worth surviving in? I sometimes wonder. But then I see the 10-second TV commercial and I realize that we are a creative people. We have made our Chartres Cathedral.
Isn't that wonderful? Gore, let me ask you something. Do you make up everything you say as you go along?
Generally.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Ackerman, excuse me, but you're in the way of Gore's profile. Your shoulder is in its profile. Can you move over there, please? Can you? Thank you very much.
Will you mention Fernwood Psychiatric in the forward of your book? No, we've never been in a novel before.
Would you please get away? Mary is working on my profile.
Thank you, Gore. Mr. Ackerman, could you stand over there, please? Your background, okay? I'm using you as background, okay? Over there in the background, up on that, in the background there. That's good. That's good. That's great. That's over there in the back. That's perfect. That's real good. Real good.
Here,
That's very good. That's good.
Well, you two are certainly getting along well.
He's just very overexcited, Gore, and restless. I mean, we haven't had a celebrity at Fernwood Psych since Debbie Reynolds entertained the manic depressive ward in 1964.
A real trooper.
Mm-hmm. He hyperventilated for 2 days straight. All right, now, everybody hold the pose. This is very critical.
Mary,
What?
I won't move, but I have to tell you the most exciting news of the decade.
What?
Upon your release, Fernwood is having a Mary Hartman Day, and a time capsule will be buried, not to be opened before the year 2076. It was from your book, 1876, that I got the idea.
I'm glad.
A time capsule? I don't have to get in that, do I?
No, of course not. But you will choose the contents as the typical consumer, which will be unveiled by the people of the next century as the way we were.
Assuming that there are any people in the next century because of the way we were.
That is so right! He is so right! What do you mean, things like Tidy Bowl and spoon-sized shredded wheat, stuff like that?
And aerosol cans, nuclear reactors, Philadelphia.
Oh, and of course, Tom's baseball cap. I mean, that's a must.
Your release will be a wonderful occasion for Fernwood.
My release? I'm gonna get a release? Okay, relax, please.
Can I get down?
Yes, you can get down now.
You will be released soon, Mary, soon. And I'm hoping that Mr. Vidal will join us.
Well, I'd love to, but I'm off to Rome next week.
It will be soon.
Well, when, Mr. Ackerman? I mean, just tell me when.
Yeah, actually, I don't see why she can't go home right now, period.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I love those periods, Gore.
No. Now, you must trust me. But it will be very soon, I promise.
He sounds just like Jimmy Carter.
Well, what does that mean, yes or no?
That means yes and no.
Well, you must understand that there are a great many details to be worked out here. Mary Hartman Day will be a national celebration. We're even hoping that Charles Carrault will follow the road over here to cover it.
I think I know the perfect day. And it would be so American you wouldn't believe it. Very early in the morning on Election Day. This is gonna kill two birds with one stone. My release and Chester's deadline.
See, I just keep getting these. Oh, I don't know how to say it.
See,
You know.
Mrs. Haggers, there's no embarrassment here.
Sexy dreams. See, I keep getting these sexy dreams, and they're not near as sexy as Mr. Vidal's books, you know, or the X-rated movies that they show over in the crummy part of town. You know, I hadn't even seen the movies myself, personal, but Charlie's friends, you know, I hear them talking about them, so I kind of know.
They star you.
No, those movies do not star me. I would never even be in those movies.
No, your dreams.
Oh. How did you know?
It's all right, Mrs. Haggers.
Good. Well, see, because they're not exactly, you know, Disney G-rated, you know.
Mrs. Haggers, sex is not shameful, nor our fantasies or our dreams. The Bible is very much in favor of sex.
I'm glad to hear that. It's very comforting to know that. And, you know, Mary has been quoting a lot from Corinthians about that very thing, you know, since you come home. And, boy, they talked a lot, didn't they?
Oh, yes, they did. And they found some answers. Perhaps if you were to tell me some of your sexual dreams, I could find the Christian interpretation for them in the Bible.
No, I don't think I could do that. It's pretty, they're kind of, you know, a little embarrassing. I just,
Oh, Mrs. Haggers.
no, I don't, you know.
Well, give it a try.
All right. Well, they are in vivid Technicolor, if you know. If it's all right with you. See, this one that I keep having is like Charlie comes out. He's just coming home from work. It's 6 p.m., you know, and he comes home particularly hot and
Go ahead, Mr. Haggers.
bothered, hot and bothered. And I am there, and I happen to be in my very teensiest negligee that I order, you know, in the mail catalog from Frederick's of Hollywood's with the Velcro front, you know. And Charlie starts taking off his...
Mrs. Haggers, do not censor your dreams.
coat, takes off his coat. And then, you know, he takes off all his clothes and everything, chases me. And then I go up the stairs just as fast as I can, you know, and he follows me. And he follows me into the bedroom. And then as soon as I hear him coming up, then I race into the bathroom and close the door real quick, you know, teasing him. You know, we kind of tease each other that way and everything. And Charlie, of course, then knocks on the door, and he says to me, he says, Loretta, you get out of there right this minute, or I'm going to knock this door down and come in and get you. Well, of course, I know he's not going to knock the door down because he wouldn't tear up the house, you know. So we kind of play a little bit, teasing a little bit, and then there's a moment of silence, and then I open the door, and there he is on the bed, all slicked down with Johnson's baby oil on black rubber sheets. And then I look again, and it's not Charlie. It's another man in my bedroom. Another man. He is sexier than Charlie. He is bigger than Charlie, and I know him.
Who?
Telly Savalas. It's Telly Savalas. Do you believe that in my own bedroom? Well, I can't believe it. And my body is just drawn to him like a pin is drawn to a magnet. And the minute, though, that I get there, he's gone. Telly's gone, Charlie's gone, they're all gone. Everybody's gone, and I am left all by myself in my Fredericks of Hollywood, just filled with frustration and loneliness.
That is a dream, Mrs. Haggers. But the Bible does understand. Here, right here. Upon my bed by night, I sought him whom my soul loves, but found him not. I called him, but he gave no answer. I will rise now and go about the city. I will seek him whom my soul loves.
The one thing I don't understand, see, I don't need to seek Charlie. I mean, I already have Charlie. I need to seek him.
Having someone and finding them are two different things. Now, Mr. Haggers has hidden from being your full-time husband because of his shame.
Well, so then I need to find him. I mean, we need to help him get over his, unshame himself, so to speak.
Exactly.
Well, how do I do that? I don't know.
Well, it must be very gradual. We could just leave the Bible for a moment. Think of Mr. Haggers as an athlete.
Wait a minute. Before, Charlie is not very athletic. I feel you should know that.
Well, it's just a hypothetical analogy. He's an athlete who has been injured in the game. He must perform certain exercises on the sidelines before he's in shape to go back in the playing field. Now, the following exercise, graphically described in this pamphlet, will help you. First, both parties remove all of their clothes in front of the mirror. You notice it's a full-length mirror.
It's a full-length.
Right.
Gosh, you know, this seems strange, but this reminds me of another dream that I had that maybe I ought to tell you about.
So Kathy's really serious about having an abortion?
It seems that way, since she can't find the father.
You know, she really ought to call Adopt-A-Fine. I mean, I bet she could get a special discount rate since we give them so much business anyway.
Well, she's talking about going to Columbus, having an abortion next weekend.
No, I really should talk to her. I mean, she should have a reason to live, and a child would give her that reason to live.
Say, who's the hot number?
Oh, this is Mrs. Defarge. This is my grandfather, Grandpa Larkin.
What are you doing later? Would you like to go out and build a nice big bonfire?
Later, Mrs. Defarge, I'll give him your number.
Got any peanut butter on you?
She seems like a lot of fun.
She isn't. Grandpa, don't you see what I'm trying to say? Life's not fun. I mean, fun gets boring, but reasons don't get boring, and that's why Kathy should have that baby. Mr. Markham, my sister is pregnant, and I feel that she should have the baby because I feel it will give her a reason to go on living.
But no reason to ruin your life. Most people shouldn't be parents. They don't deserve children.
True, but that's an awfully cold view. Have you always been so miserable as a human?
If I had it to do over again, I think I would have remained a fetus. I had everything I needed then.
Chester, please.
Overpopulation's just gotta be stopped. It's the only way to save the world. And your sister should help. Just as I'm going to help.
That man is dangerous.
You're telling me you know that I've been saying that for a week now?
He's a killer. I know those eyes. That man could kill.
I know, and you know what he has? He has it on him. He has a nuclear device on him that could blow up everything. And you know where he keeps it? It's called plutonium-239, and he keeps it in that Peanuts lunch pail. That's exactly like the lunch pail that Heather used to carry until she got the $6 million man.
You mean he's going to blow up Fernwood?
He is going to blow up Ohio unless I can figure out a way to take it away from him, get it out of this hospital, and then I have to figure out what to do with it from there.
Why don't you call the police?
Because they're not going to believe me, Grandpa. I mean, it's a general rule. They don't believe people in mental institutions. It's a very strict police rule.
There's an awful lot of dumb rules in this world, Mary.
You do believe me, don't you? Oh, it just feels so good to be believed in.
You're the only one in this family that has convictions.
When Chester blows up Ohio, of everyone, I'm gonna miss you the most.
That is a lot of stuff. Oh. Well, I'm glad that Billy 12 Trees isn't just a complete non-entity. I mean, they never really solved where he went as far as story goes. He's just somewhere else now and has sent a Venus flytrap to Martha. Martha is still holding out hope for George, who hasn't been around for like a month at this point, and a month of episodes at least, and we'll see. I mean, I'm wondering if he comes back at all. But that also means no income for the Shumway family, and that is a big question for Kathy, who really has no idea how she can support herself, not to mention a baby. And the men that were in her life are non-entities as far as we can tell. There's not even a Father DeMarco, who she really seemed to like last season and is completely gone as far as we can tell now. I mean, Kathy seems to be ambivalent to his existence. And the question of abortion comes up, abortion or adoption. And I feel like that's a decision that Kathy should be making, and other characters are getting their say in Kathy's very important life choice. And I know that happens, but it's really unfortunate. I feel like Kathy needs to be the person who makes her decision. Kathy isn't always great at making decisions, but it is hers to make. I don't want to get into a debate here, but that's where I stand. Then we are back at the ward with Gore Vidal, who did play himself. I wasn't sure, so I did double check that, but he is playing himself on this show. He's been on the show quite a bit for, a famous author. And Mr. Ackerman is hovering over him, as he has been, and is putting Garth's plan into effect to have a Mary Hartman Day on the day of her release, which will be not only election day, but also the day that Chester is planning to do the bomb. But that is a whole lot of stuff we can expect, and that's just a couple weeks away, I think, at this point. Yeah, I know that the calendar dates of the real year and the show dates aren't necessarily quite the same, but I feel like they probably will be writing to make November 5th a very important day. I'm not sure what election day was in 1976, but I could look that up. I don't want to spoil myself, so I might not even look that up. We'll find out when we get there, but whew, a whole Chester plot. We'll get back to that. Then Loretta meets up with that doctor whose name I have forgotten. Sorry, he doesn't show up that much. And tells a sexy dream, and that's neat. Clearly, Loretta is into bald guys because Telly Savalas was the one that she named. The doctor offers an exercise which appears to be the same as the one that he gave to Mary, so maybe that's just a catch-all exercise that he assigns to everyone. Maybe in this case he would have prescribed it as a little bit closer to the intent, which is just to not necessarily have sexual content, a little bit more like the sensate focus that I mentioned just yesterday, but we don't really know what's going on there. But anyways, Loretta is having a sexy dream and getting to talk to someone. I think that is good. I expect that the doctor's advice might work, but also his advice is that Charlie needs to be doing exercises to get his body back to recovery. And I think that is sage. I'm not sure if the one exercise that he assigned to Mary and now appears to be assigning to Loretta and Charlie is the right one, but it is important for Charlie to be moving forward towards this thing that he wants. And hey, some movement forward is better than none. Then we get Grandpa back at the ward and Mrs. Defarge making moves, but she's a little bit loony. And Grandpa has always been the person who understands Mary. I think of anybody in this show, Grandpa will listen and understands Mary's point of view, or feels an affinity, an emotional affinity with Mary, understands where she's coming from. He even knows that Chester is a real threat and not some delusion that Mary is having. He's the only person who believes that. I'm glad that we have Grandpa here. I mean, Grandpa isn't necessarily anything beyond ineffectual in this show, other than the fact that he listens, and I'm really glad that we at least have that. And listening, if you've heard what I've had to say about listening, it's a lot more powerful than many people might think it is. So everyone, that is our Friday episode from week 4 of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. I expect big things are going to be coming very soon. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and we will see you next week in Fernwood.